Round 2 of the 2025 S1GP season takes place in Sardinia as the world's best supermoto talents once again head to Tremazza. Sardinia is a stunning part of the world, and while it is an island, it is a large and distinct land of culture and history. Sardinia's landmass is greater than that of the mainland's Lazio region, which contains the capital city of Rome, and over 1.5 million people call this island home. Sardinia is the second largest island in the Mediterranean Sea after Sicily and is a true jewel for visitors. From stunning wildlife to local festivals, gorgeous local wares to some of the greatest scenery anywhere in Europe, Sardinia is a special place to be. The Tremazza event is now a well-established part of the Supermoto World Championship calendar, and the island also has a significant presence in four-wheeled rally competition. The local petrolheads love motorsport of all types, and round 2 of the season will be an important one for those looking to overthrow the reigning champion, Mark Reiner Schmidt. One such rider looking for results here, Lucas Hellbacker.
After my tough injury in end of 2023, I was on a tough point in my career. I had to stop and go for a surgery on my back. So 2024 was a recovery year, and coming back in the end of 2024. I'm really happy to be back this year, 2025, for the full S1GP World Championship races, and it's definitely really cool to get another chance. The big change, especially this year, is with working with a new team, Schruf Racing. I'm really proud to work with them. They are really motivated and really hard workers, so it's a big hurt and nice feeling to have them on my side. And we are on a good place at the moment after round 1. This weekend in Sardinia we fight again for the first position, and the goal end of this year is to be on the top step of the podium and get the World Championship title.
The circuit here at Sardinia is an intriguing one with many mid-speed corners. The dirt sections, while fairly short, have been known to be quite difficult to get right, especially in the braking zones. Let's get a closer look at this weekend's battleground with one of our Italian stars, Elia Sammartine. Welcome to the beautiful Tremazza track. Come with me to discover all the secrets of this layout. After the initial asphalt section of the Tremazza course, you arrive here in the first dirt area. This first part is already very important. Here, the braking is key. You have to brake hard with full attention because the grip is really minimal. It's important to give grip and stability to the front wheel in braking as well as to the rear wheel. There is this banked berm that you must use all of, and you have to be good at finding rear traction to get good speed across this whole series of waves with a good rhythm. It's a very important part of the track because here you can risk overtaking. We exit the first dirt section and enter the second asphalt part. Here it is essential to let the bike run well. We return to the second dirt section, which has much more technicalities to it, with the presence of significant jumps in terms of size and a beautiful 2-lane section where you can try to overtake. We exit the dirt section and arrive in the last sector of the track. We return to the asphalt with a long left, where it is very difficult to find the right line. Here, it is important not to lean the bike too much, so we will save the tyres and be able to apply the power.
Troppo angolo la moto, così salveremo le gomme e riusciremo a scaricare in tanta potenza.
We arrive in the final part of this very long curve where, as I mentioned before, it is important not to find yourself with the bike at too big of an angle. Otherwise, it is very difficult to take hold of the gas. It is important to go close to the curb so as to not travel too far and be able to make a good change of direction and exit quickly from the final chicane with maximum acceleration and enter the straight at full speed. Enough chatter now, let's go to the pits. Let's go to the track at full gas. Okay, a full gas lap is promised from Elia Sammartin. We have every reason to believe him. Onto the short first straight and immediately into that little chicane at the start of the lap. Expect it to be very difficult for people to find their space there. Onto the first of these braking zones on the dirt, which is always really tricky coming from high speed on the tarmac onto the dirt and over those waves that he alluded to. It goes down to effectively a single line just before coming back onto the tarmac here as well, so I think we might see people fighting for real estate a little bit coming back off the first dirt section. Another fairly complex sequence on the tarmac, then opening up the taps a little bit more before again another dirt section and another opportunity to get the braking quite wrong if you're not careful. Getting the bike woed up on the dirt, always a little bit tricky. As you can see, 2 lanes through that section. We do see people sometimes taking that wider run and trying to make up a place. We've seen riders side by side over that last jump back onto the tarmac as well. We've had brilliant racing here over the years at Sardinia. Coming towards this signature section of the circuit now, multiple apexes in the penultimate corner, then one last jig past the Metzeler Elephant, and that's a lap here at Tremazza. Our first race of the weekend, and Steve Bonnell is our pole sitter. Schmidt and Hellbacker on the first row with him. Then it's Avia Cortez, Sammartin and Jan Ullmann. Jonas Nedved in 7th. Tom Bessieres behind. And Gabin Pernat down to 9th. Besai, Provaznik and Romano, your top dozen. We're racing in Sardinia, and it's a poor start from Mark Reiner Schmidt. It's a great start from the 202 of Jonas Nedved. He's briefly up into 4th place, but there goes Julien Avia Cortez, getting right back past him. Elia Sammartin now looking for a way past the 202 as well, but can't quite do it yet. He has the inside line for the next hairpin that will move him up to 5th place. It's Steve Bonnell, though, at the front of the field, a rider who is yet to win in the FIM Supermoto World Championship, and down goes Sergio Reggio there. The Portuguese rider taking a tumble. Steve Bonnell at the front of the field, leading the way. Not uncharted territory for him to be fighting at the front, but I don't think we've seen him or anyone else have a lead this commanding in S1GP after the first lap in quite a little bit of time. This is a really commanding performance from Steve Bonnell in the early stages. Just a couple of laps into this race and he is performing absolutely superbly. His qualifying efforts perhaps foretold a good weekend, but it's amazing. He's so far clear currently of Hellbacker, of Schmidt, of Avia Cortez at this stage. And then in 5th place, as you can see, it is Elia Sammartin. We ride on board with him, Italy's own Supermoto legend, a 7-time champion in his homeland. I'm sure the fans here in Sardinia will be fully behind the number 32. Hellbacker and Schmidt in 2nd and 3rd positions. But it is the TSV Racing Factory TM of Steve Bonnell with an ever-expanding lead here at the front. Perhaps he's found a little bit of something in the setup. Certainly looks comfortable out there right now at Tremazza. Perhaps Hellbacker is closing in slightly. Mark Reiner Schmidt might be allowing Lucas to bring him into the party, as it were. Krasnicki in 11th place, leading a 4-bike battle there. As always, battling all through the field here in the World Championship. Just over half distance in this race, and Bonnell still looking strong at the front. His pace not really waning in any noticeable way. You can see how careful he is on the power there, coming off that first dirt section. It's those transitions from tarmac to dirt that really seem to be the most tricky portions of the circuit here in Sardinia. Elias Sammartin is on the back of Julian Cortez for the time being. Following the Spanish KTM rider, of course, MTR entering that KTM. Schruff Racing these days the entrant for Lucas Hellbacker, as he was talking to us about earlier in the broadcast. Oh, and Sammartin goes down. Elias Sammartin. Oh, unfortunate. He definitely had podium pace in this race, was fighting for that 4th position with Julian Cortez. Doesn't look like he's actually lost any places, but all the same, Elias Sammartin has lost the opportunity there to win that battle with Avia Cortez. Your top 3 are looking a little bit closer together, it must be said. Just a few laps left to go. What can Bonnell do? I think he's got enough of a high ground at this juncture to simply control, to simply manage the race, unless Lucas Hellbacker has really left something in the back pocket. The lap counter ticking down in Bonnell's favour. Mark Reiner-Schmidt won't be delighted with this. He's at times looked so obviously stronger in that first weekend in Spain, but this time it seems that quite a few riders have stepped up to the plate, including a first-time winner in the World Championship. Here comes Steve Bonnell, a winner in FIM Supermoto for the first time.
Yeah, it's awesome. I'm speechless to make all shot and make my way to a gap to Lucas and Mark. So I'm so happy to win my first Supermoto race in World Championship. I'm speechless. I'm thanks to the TM team. They did a really hard work. So I'm so happy. Thank you.
A brilliant showing from the Frenchman. Steve Bonnell on top. Lucas Hellbacker and Mark Reiner-Schmidt round out the podium. And as you can see, Avia Cortez and Sammartin rounding out the top 5, despite Sammartin's fall. Sunday in Sardinia, and a cool beverage is probably what's needed. It's a warm and muggy weekend here, but still lots of fans taking in the opportunity to see not just the racing action, but also what's going on around the paddock, and there is always a lot to do for everybody watching along, besides all of the action. Fast race is go, and a polar opposite start for Mark Reiner-Schmidt. This time it's a great launch, and he moves from the centre of the front row to the lead. Steve Bonnell down to second place then in the early stages. Can he latch on to the rear of the German and give chase to try and get yet another race victory after that inaugural triumph less than 24 hours ago? Schmidt with an early advantage. Hellbacker there in third position. The rest of the field goes streaming through the first sequence of corners. Of course, a shorter distance in the fast race on Sunday morning. If they are managing anything in the longer races, it's all guns-ho and blazing on Sunday morning in the fast race. Just go as quick as you can and see what happens. The Alpina banner they go on the first lap. Steve Bonnell, I must say, is staying with Mark Reiner-Schmidt. As they come across the line, there's not a lot between them. The German, though, does have the upper hand. Didn't really get an opportunity to ride in clean air yesterday, Mark Reiner-Schmidt. Here's Elias Sammartin in fourth and down, almost in front of him. Goes Lucas Hellbacker. Lucas just about stayed up, but he's going to lose a lot of places. You can see him recovering in the back of shot there. Looked like he dropped well outside the top 10, and it cost Sammartin some time as well. He's got a Via Cortez right there with him now. So Elias Sammartin, I think, really did a good job to avoid the side of the KTM there. Looks like Sammartin is, yes, he's struggling, isn't he? Elias Sammartin, I thought he looked slow for the seconds prior, but a mechanical issue or something going wrong with his bike. Uncharacteristic that we see a lot of that in Supermoto. But Elias Sammartin will be bitterly disappointed with the opportunity of a podium beckoning. Steve Bonnell still pursuing Mark Reiner-Schmidt. The top two are now incredibly clear of the rest of the field, with Hellbacker going down, Sammartin having the problem. And look at Bonnell, he really is all over the back of Mark Reiner-Schmidt. Schmidt will be very aware of the challenge that's coming from behind. There's Sammartin's stricken motorcycle. Chain off. Well, that explains a lot. Via Cortez, amongst all of that, has moved himself up into a fairly lonely third position. The other KTM, of course, Lucas Hellbacker, he'll be working his way through the field as well, no doubt. Top two in their own postcode. And while Bonnell is certainly matching the pace of Schmidt, he's yet to find an opportunity to make the move. A lot of the overtaking seems to get done in the dirt sections here. And Mark is incredible on the dirt. But you can say the same on the tarmac as well. That's one of the reasons why Mark Reiner-Schmidt is currently the ace of Supermoto competition. You stick him into a superbike race or something like that, as he's done several times in Germany, and he's right on the money. Put him on a motocross bike, and again, he's more than competitive. Of course, adaptability, being a hybrid talent, that's all part of the game in Supermoto. Schmidt and Bonnell. Just a couple of laps left to go. Can Steve do anything to claim that win? He started from pole, but immediately lost out to a fast-starting Mark Reiner-Schmidt. Either way, the fact that Bonnell is keeping pace really marks him out as a potential contender going forward. A win yesterday and a hard-fought battle with Mark Reiner-Schmidt in this race, but it will be the number one in P1. Mark Reiner-Schmidt wins the race. Schmidt winning from Bonnell. Cortez rounds out the podium. A great result for both Jonas Nedved and Jan Ullmann to be in the top 5. Giovanni Basai all the way up in 6th as well. Lucas Hellbacker, unfortunately, only 10th.
First race went very well for me. Yesterday I struggled a bit, but I take the focus today on the start. I could make the whole shot, made my rhythm, everything was good. Steve was close behind me, he's super fast in this track, but yeah, thanks to the team and my sponsors, I'm here again on top. See you for the super final. I will put the hammer down one more time. See you guys.
And he has to put the hammer down because Steve Bonnell still leads the points in the Grand Prix of Sardinia. Can the Frenchman hold on, or will the defending champion come to the fore in the super final? Super final time, and Mark Reiner-Schmidt is on pole. Bonnell and Avia Cortez alongside. Nedved, Ullmann and Basai, all with very strong starting positions. Gomez Requena, Pravaznik and Bessier bringing us down to 9th. Then it's Hellbacker, Vertimati and Sergio Rego. They're underway in the super final. That's a good start from Mark Reiner-Schmidt. He's followed by Bonnell as they go racing here for the final time this weekend. Here we ride on board with Elias Sammartin. He's got work to do. Of course, the chain let go in the previous race, the fast race. That determines the grid for the super final. Therefore, he has a lot of work to do. You can hear him yelling there at Eric Pravasnik as he tried to get to the inside. That's fairly normal stuff in Supermoto. You give a shout to warn of an impending lunge to the inside, but the warning wasn't heeded there, particularly by Pravasnik. Steve Bonnell following on from Mark Reiner-Schmidt at the moment, and of course this battle is key because if Bonnell gets through, he wins the Grand Prix of Sardinia. If Mark Reiner-Schmidt stays ahead, just 3 points back as it stands from Bonnell, he would jump into the Grand Prix victory position. For Steve Bonnell, it would be a rare honour and a true delight to win his first overall Grand Prix weekend on the same weekend as his first victory in any race in the Supermoto World Championship. That's Tom Bessier just ahead of Elias Sammartin at the moment. And another big yell there from Elias Sammartin, looking to get himself up into the overall top 10. Sammartin moving up and past the Frenchman. It's about salvaging as many points as possible now for Elias Sammartin. It's big picture stuff. Top 5 would probably be his quasi-realistic target for this race. The field gets strung out. I'm not sure he's quite going to be close enough to make it that far. Julian Evia-Cortez there in third place. Not a million miles away from the top 2. Keeping pace. Meanwhile, Rego and Romano there fighting out for 11th, just outside the top 10. On their Honda and TM machines respectively. Sergio Rego having a strong weekend after hitting the deck in the first lap of the first race. Elias Sammartin now up to 7th position. He's on the back there of Jan Ullman. Ullman drifting out wide there. That's going to give the opportunity to Sammartin. Jonas Nedved just ahead of him as well, and that's 5th place. That is 5th place on lap 10 of the race for Elias Sammartin. So he's got to the top 5. That's really impressive stuff from Elias. Meanwhile, Steve Bonnell has lost a bit of ground to Mark Reiner-Schmidt, but he's still close enough to capitalise on an error. But with Schmidt, they so rarely come. As it stands, it would be 2nd in the Grand Prix standings for Steve Bonnell, but this is still a big weekend for him. He's clearly very strong at this circuit, and the momentum will be there going forward for the rest of the season. The fact that he's up there and fighting with the current leader of the discipline globally in Mark Reiner-Schmidt would be a huge cause for optimism. But Mark Reiner-Schmidt comes across the line to win his 2nd Grand Prix of the season and extend his championship lead. The German is very much incomparable at the moment. Another fabulous day of riding from him. Mark Reiner-Schmidt wins the race, and with it, the Grand Prix of Sardinia. Bonnell, Cortez, Hellbacker and Sammartin, your top 5. There's Mark Reiner-Schmidt then, 77 to 75. Narrow margins determining the Grand Prix. Cortez with a strong 3rd. Hellbacker and Ullman bringing us down to 5th. Evia-Cortez on the podium. Another strong weekend for MTR's young star. Steve Bonnell. It feels rude to call him young after the seasons of experience that he's had, but he is certainly still upcoming and constantly improving. Mark Schmidt, meanwhile, at the top of his game, on the top of the podium, and Alessandro Salinas presents the big trophy. The red plate from Gianluca Avenoso of the FIM. Congratulations, Mark, you've done it again.
So it's something special to win here in Sardinia. I tried so hard the last few years. Now everything come together. We struggled a bit yesterday, but we bring everything together for today. I made 2 victories. I extend my points lead. I'm super happy and thankful to the people around me. This one is for my mother because today is Mother's Day. So yeah, just for you, mommy. Have a good time and see you. Bye.
Mark Schmidt will leave Sardinia with a big lead already. Look at that, tied on 122 for second. Bonnell and Hellbacker, 37 clear is Mark Schmidt. Cortez and San Martin are top 5 in the championship as we get ready for round 3 of the season. Next up, it's home turf for the defending champ, the Grand Prix of Germany in Sankt Wendel.